better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. Roll the Dice by Charles Bukowski. Roll the Dice by Charles Bukowski. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing. Roll the Dice by Charles Bukowski. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
What sort of a man was he, personality-wise?
He was a complicated man, full of love and full of suspicion. So it was very, very difficult to get close to Kipling, and his marriage didn't help. He married the wife of a close friend of his who died. Her name was Caroline Ballastier, and her brother Walcott Ballastier had been a very close friend of Kipling, and he married her on the rebound from Walcott Ballastier's death, you might say. And it was a difficult marriage. Carrie Kipling was not a help, I think, to Kipling in his human relations with other people. But on the other hand, he had very, very close friendships, and he was a kind of wonderful, passionate involved, engaged, hands-on parent. Of course, one of the great tragedies of his life is that he and Carrie had 3 children. Two of those children
died. Let's move on to talking about his reputation. His reputation has gone through many different changes. Would you like to sort of outline why, for example, he's still thought of by many as simply a children's writer?
I think that, like many writers who write in different genres and across a long career, it's easy and not, in my view, necessarily unjust to separate the things that writer does into different compartments, and each of those things will have its own audience. I mean, I think that he is a great children's writer, and that reputation runs alongside other reputations for the other kinds of writing that he did, and that's not necessarily a bad thing or an injustice. The course of his reputation is really very kind of strange because, as I say in my introduction, he begins with this tremendous success in London, and that first kind of period lasts for perhaps 10, 15 years, up to the start of the Boer War, I think. And it's around that time, which is also the time that Kipling comes back to live permanently in England. When he returns to England, he becomes much more politically engaged than he had been before. And that political engagement then begins to split his readers into those who agree with his political views and those who don't. And he becomes increasingly tagged with various political, ideological causes. And from that point on, his reputation rises and falls with the fate of those causes themselves.
And the causes involved British involvement in India?
Realist ideology as such. If you can't get past that, then Kipling is always going to be a disagreeable writer. And the disagreements that people had with him in the years up to and after the First World War were so violent that no one could then detach his literary qualities from his political views. And that fusion of the writer and the political
came from?